Alright, Shalom. Once again, all praise is honor and glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Bahasham, Racha, Kwadash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of the great millstone, and salutations to all you sincere can. And this is your brother Abawan back again with another video through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Bahasham, Racha, Kwadash. All praises and glory with you. I'm just going to go right into it. Right, this is a quick one post Passover lesson, and all praises, glory, and honor to the Most High Yahweh, Hashem, Yahushai, Hashem, Rakakwadash, right? Another Passover, even if we are, and just like the theme of my previous video, even if we are in hell, right, we still give all praises, glory, and honor unto the Most High Yahweh, Hashem, Yahushai, because we are able to keep this high holy day, right? And not just keep this high holy day, but keep it in sincerity and in truth, as it is written in the scriptures. And that's a beautiful thing right there, but I've already gone into that. But what I want to go into, is just flowing in the spirit, right? So all the different meditations and the different things that popped into your head, that the spirit puts it on me, as I was doing and preparing for, right, doing the Passover service, solo, unfortunately, right? But Lord willing, the Most High Yahweh, Hashem, Yahushai, send some more brothers into this truth, right? But like I was saying, right, the things that popped into my head, the things that I was meditating on, leading to and during, the Passover service while I was doing it, right? And now that, it has been done, first and foremost, once again, all praises, glory, honor, and thanks be to the Most High Yahweh, Hashem, Yahushai, Hashem, Rakakwadash, right? Because, like I said, it's a beautiful thing to keep the Passover, even in these last days, even in the captivity that we are in. And of course, although it is not being kept perfectly, right, even as you give it to the best of our ability, it still at least uplifts your spirit that, we are serving the Most High Yahweh, Hashem, and we are doing something, right, rather than following in the ways of our people in this kingdom, because Jake doesn't know what's going on right now, right? And that's part of the things I even wanted to talk about. And the reason I'm looking back at this is I'm thinking about and I'm looking at and hearing that our people don't even know what's going on. I'm actually hearing the fact that our people don't know what's going on, right? And also as well that it is impossible to keep the law to the best of your ability in this kingdom unless every single Israelite, right? Unless all of our people are keeping the laws at the same time, okay? Well, so like I said, let me rephrase that, because I said it is impossible to keep the law to the best of your ability. What I meant to say is that it is impossible to keep the law perfectly if our people, all of our people, all of the nation of Israel is not keeping the law as well, okay? Because now look at it this way, right? Every other Passover, you always have the same situation where you go to some places and they still have unleavened bread. They still have all these products that use yeast and other raising agents in them. So you can't keep the law in which we have to remove the living products, right? The yeast, all the raising agents that are used in foods out of our land, right, or out of the city that we are in, or for the duration of the Passover, right? The same thing with the Shabbat. You still have places that are operating, you still have places that are open during the Shabbat, and it's all going to the same thing, and it's all based on the fact that we as a people, okay, we can't keep the law perfectly if every single Israelite isn't keeping the law as well, okay? And it's not even a matter of, we keep the law but the heathen don't, because for the most part Jake is always around Jake, right? Israel, our people, the Israelites, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians are basically always in the same neighborhood, always in the same area with each other. But the thing is that it is only the Hebrew Israelites, specifically even the men that have the 100% truth, that are even bothering to keep the Passover to this extent, right? I even bothering to keep and follow the Most High Yahweh, Hashem, Yahushai, and the laws, the statutes, and the commandments to this extent. You have to bear with me, because something's entering my eye right now, so that's why I'm blinking a lot, okay? But yeah, like I was saying, it is only the men of the law that even bother to keep the law and the commandments of the Most High, Yahweh, Hashem, Yahushai, Hashem, but that's to this extent. Right now, I don't know if you guys can hear it, but I'm in a hotel right now. I couldn't keep it at my house, unfortunately, but I'm in a hotel right now, and you are hearing, if you are with me right here, you'll be hearing music blasting right in the hotel. They are playing music. These jigs are out, and basically it's just another night for them. It's just another day for them. They don't realize that this is one of the most significant high holy days that our people keep, right? But come Easter, come Valentine's, right? Come Christmas especially, come all these high holy days that were set up by Esau that are nowhere to be found in the scriptures. Jake could be quick, 100% willing to keep those high holy days and practice those high holy days instead. But the ones that actually are in the scriptures, and it's funny how that works, because basically all the high holy days in the scripture, that is the Passover, the Feast of Weeks, the Purim, the Hanukkah, none of them are being kept by our people, right? You have the small house, but even they don't do it right? They are still wicked in the way in which they keep these high holy days. But our people don't even bother, right, with these high holy days. What I want to start with is Exodus, the 12th chapter, right? It's one of the precepts that we read during the Passover, basically going into this celebration. So Exodus 12, or I should say going into this high holy day, right? Because it's a solemn feast day, not a celebration in the sense of how it is done in the world, but rather a high holy day, a solemn feast day in the sense of how we keep it as a people, as the Hebrew Israelites, right? So in righteousness and sincerity, we're not, throwing a party, okay? We don't have lights, cameras, actions. We're not hiring musicians or performers. There's no MC, okay, during this Passover period, like you see with a lot of these other camps. It's not a grandiose thing, okay? It is a solemn assembly, just like our Lord Yahushai did it. And I think I'll start with that, going into the Passover of our Lord Yahushai. And you will see that even the Passover of our Lord Yahushai was something that was done from the, it was something that was done, right, days before the actual day, okay? So basically what I'm saying is that our Lord Yahushua was already making the preparations before the actual day came, okay? Let me go to that. That's why I was telling the 12 during that time, okay, that this is the house that will do the Passover, right, the Passover in. And let me go to that, let me look for that, let me get that. No, I'll get that real. Okay, let me get this. Okay, so the book of Luke, 22nd chapter. Right, so this is the book of Luke, the 22nd chapter. So this is the book of Luke 22, verse 7. Then came the day of unleavened bread, when the Passover must be killed. And he sent Peter and John, saying, Go and prepare us the Passover, that we may eat. And they said unto him, Where wilt thou that we prepare? And he said unto them, Behold, when ye are entered into the city, there shall a man meet you, bearing a pitcher of water. Follow him into the house where he entereth in. And he shall say unto the good man of the house, The master saith unto thee, Where is the guest chamber, where I shall eat the Passover with my disciples? And he shall show you a large upper room furnished. There make ready. And they went and found as he said unto them, and they made ready the Passover rites. And that shows you that even the Passover is supposed to be a very, very tight-knit, affair. Very, very, I don't know the best word to use, but, a covert thing. Let me say it like that. It's supposed to be a covert thing, right? Where our Lord Yahushua and the 12 disciples, okay, and only the 12, because, of course, as we know, our Lord Yahushua had many disciples, even leading up to his crucifixion, right? But he only kept the Passover with the 12, and that is just showing you the and that's just showing you how deep the Passover is, right? He didn't invite every, and let's just say, I'm just saying this just because of the way that you will eventually see. That's the funny thing, because a lot of these other camps have their Passover period at different dates. Some camps keep it at the same time with the small hearts, right? Some camps, do it differently. They have their own set way of measuring the time, right? And you will see eventually when the Passover gets here that you see all of these other camps, they will be keeping their own Passover, and you see what they will be doing during that period. I don't want to say too much about that now, so I'll leave it there, right? But you see, Allah Yahweh, even before the day came, right, he was already making preparations for where he would keep the Passover and getting everything prepared for the Passover. Now let's go into the actual day and what was done in it. Let's go to that. So now this is the book of Matthew 26 verse 20. Now when the even was come, he sat down with the 12, and as they did eat, right, after the service, he said, verily I say unto you that one of you shall betray me. And that's spiritual right there, because immediately after the Passover, right, the Spirit started, flowing and started coming out, and all the truth was being revealed, right? And Judas was exposed as a bug out, man. That this was not even among the 12, right? Even among the apostles, the 12, it's like not the apostles, but even among the 12 disciples, you already had somebody that was set up to betray our Lord Yahweh Shai. And that's spiritual right there, because after the service, after the Passover, right, and when they were eating the bread, our Lord Yahweh Shai was now breaking down everything that would happen. That one of you, and of course he had been saying it long before this period, that there is a betrayer among us, right? There is basically a traitor among us, and of course he was referring to Judas. And even here he said it as well, that one of the disciples, one of the 12, would betray our Lord Yahweh, which of course was Judas. Now let's continue on. Matthew 26 verse 22. And they were exceeding sorrowful, and began every one of them to say unto him, Lord, is it I? And he answered and said, He that dippeth his hand with me in the dish, the same shall betray me. And let me go back to the statements I read before, where the disciples are basically asking our Lord Yahweh, is it I, is it I, is it I, right? It's I, because at the end of the day, we don't know who the actual elect are, right? So even the disciples that were following our Lord Yahweh, that were like, we're with him right here, this is the Messiah, this is the deliverer, this is the Hamashiach, this is the man right here, we're with him. Even they didn't know, ultimately, who would betray him, who would bug out, who would fall out. And it's the same thing in this truth, man. At the end of the day, that's why we are constantly, doing this work on the highways and byways. We are keeping the laws, the statutes, and the commandments, are doing the videos, because as it is written, I believe that 2 Peter 2 verse 10, right? Or 2 Peter 1 verse 10. Give diligence to make your calling and election sure. Because we don't know until we are in the chariots, we won't know who the elect are. So now 2 Peter 1 verse 10. Wherefore the rather, brethren, give diligence to make your calling and election sure. For if ye do these things, ye shall never fall. Because we don't know who the elect actually are. We don't know who basically just that, who the elect actually are, right? So we are constantly doing the work in order to make our calling and election sure, so that undoubtedly, men, right, enduring to the end, so that undoubtedly we will be delivered, right, along with the elect of the nation of Israel. Lord willing, will be a part of that number. And that's really what this truth is all about, right? Serving the Most High Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, keeping the laws, the statutes, and the commandments of the Most High Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, and ultimately we will be delivered, if we endure to the end, of course. Let's continue reading. Now Matthew 26 verse 23 once again. And he answered and said, He that dippeth his hand with me in the dish, the same shall betray me. The Son of Man goeth as it is written of him. But woe unto that man by whom the Son of Man is betrayed. It had been good for that man if he had not been born. This is a message to, it's like I got a little excited, but this is a message ultimately to you jakes out there that are still, on that you jakes out there that are not keeping the laws, the statutes, and the commandments 100%. They are not, preaching or prophesying the 100% truth of the Most High Yahweh Hashem Yahweh, and you know that you aren't doing it right, or you know that you aren't speaking the 100% truth of the Most High Yahweh Hashem Yahweh. That's it. It's better if you were not even born, right? If you never came into this truth, than for you to have betrayed our Lord Yahweh, right? And because our Lord Yahweh also said to his disciples and ultimately to us as well, because the message extends to all his disciples: feed the sheep, feed the flock, right? Which is of course the flock of the Most High Yahweh Hashem Yahweh, the elect. So let me get that precept as well. Right, so this is the book of John 21, verse 15. So when they had dined, Yahushua said unto Simon Peter, Simon, son of Jonas, lovest thou me more than these? He saith unto him, Yea, Lord, thou knowest that I love thee. He saith unto him, Feed my lambs. And that's the point right there. And what are we supposed to feed the flock of our Lord Yahweh with, right? This truth, this word, the 100% truth of the Most High Yahweh Hashem Yahweh, and a lot of these camps, okay, and they constantly have to keep on going back to the camps, because guess what? As the Most High Yahweh Hashem Yahweh said that he will visit, right, with candles. Let's get that. So this is the book of Zephaniah 1 verse 12. And it shall come to pass at that time that I will search Jerusalem with candles, and punish the men that are settled on their lees, that say in their hearts, Yahweh will not do good, neither will he do evil. That it will start with the judgment of the Most High Yahweh Hashem Yahweh will start with the house of Israel. Let me see if I can find our precept. Let me see if I can find that precept just to go into that. For the judgment of the Most High Yahweh Hashem Yahweh will begin in the house of Israel. Yeah, it is. So this is the book of 1 Peter 4 verse 17. For the time is come that judgment must begin at the house of the Most High Yahweh Hashem Yahweh. And if it first begin at us, what shall the end be of them that obey not the gospel of the Most High Yahweh Hashem Yahweh? Right, and of course, and this isn't me being arrogant or anything like that, but the judgment begins in the house of the Most High Yahweh Hashem Yahweh. Of course, the house of the great millstone, and the likewise camps that teach the likewise doctrine, but more importantly, with the Hebrew Israelites, and that is where the judgment of the Most High Yahweh Hashem Yahweh begins, okay? And then ultimately it trickles down to the rest of this wicked ass kingdom. But first and foremost, it always starts with us, the Israelites, especially the Israelites that know that they are Israelites. And that's why you see the apostles and the elders on down always being hard on these other camps, because when you are dealing with this truth, you are ultimately going to be scrutinized more than people in the world. There is a reason why there are more videos going into the different things that the camps, especially the camp leaders, are doing, that's bugged out more than any video that you see going into a wacky Christian like Vocab, right? That we even believe that he's an Edomite, not even to talk of him being in this truth, or any other Christian or anything like that, because ultimately, as it is written, the judgment must begin at the house of Israel, at us. So all so the camp leaders, right, and the different camps that are going off, and you can show through the scriptures that they are going off, the Most High Yahweh Hashem Yahweh is always going to not only put the spirit on the men of the Lord to call them out, and to call them out, but also to go into what they are doing that is going off, so that the flock will not be led astray, so that it can be called out, and nobody will fall for the things that they do that aren't right. Like for example, like I said, I think I mentioned it before, the MOTB, the matter of the MOTB, right, the mark of the beast. Why is it that a lot of these other camps, they aren't saying what it actually is, which is the RFID microchip? And even more than that, you don't really hear them going into it a lot, right? Even though it is a major Bible prophecy, something that needs to be spoken about, because we are coming into those times, man. With this dude in office right now in in the US, Musk, it's just a matter of time before he starts pushing more and more, and ultimately they'll start pushing and mandating this heat, man. We see it already happening with the move that he is making in government. Whereas the point right there, let me go back to what I was getting. In this Matthew 26, going into our Lord Yahushai's Passover, right? And let's continue reading that. So now, Matthew 26, and I guess that's basically what I read about that, but let me just finish this up. Matthew 26, verse 24. Okay, Matthew 26, verse 25. Then Judas, which betrayed him, answered and said, Master, is it I? He said unto him, Thou hast said. Okay. So yeah, and Judas betrayed our Lord Yahushai, and the story, you already know how it went. I believe it was certain 5 or 6 pieces of silver, right? And that was what he betrayed our Lord Yahushai for. And that's how that story ended. But at the end of the day, our Lord Yahushai is raised from the dead. So the crucifixion of our Lord Yahushai means nothing. Which is why, once again, the plantation Christians are going off by walking around with that cross, man. You see them in Easter especially. They'll be walking around with that cross, right? I made a video going into Ash Wednesday, how they are basically doing, drawing that cross on their forehead. And you see that the symbol of Christianity, right, is the death of our Lord Yahushai and the tool used to murder our Lord Yahushai. And thinking about it, it makes sense, right? Because plantation Christianity is an Edomite religion, and it was the Edomites that put our Lord Yahushai to death. Of course, it was the Pharisees the Pharisees and the Sanhedrin, which it was a mixture, right? It had some heathen in it and it had some Israelites in it, but at the end of the day, the Pharisees, right, the Sanhedrin, which was the first leadership of our people at the time, that gave him up to the Edomites. But ultimately, it was the Edomites that put him to death. And it makes sense that they worship, right, and venerate the cross so much, because that was the murder weapon that they used for our Lord Yahushai. So of course, plantation Christianity venerates the cross, because these Edomites are basically worshipping the murder weapon they used in putting the deliverer of the nation of Israel to death. So it makes sense that you see how much they revere and venerate the cross now that you think about it, okay? So that's what they are doing, that's what they are about. But we are focused on not just the death, okay? But of course, they are only focused on the death because they are thinking in their mind that they stopped, right, our Lord Yahushai, and they put him to death, and now he is unable to, because that's how they think that, after he had died, there is no resurrection for him, that his death is final. And that's the book of Ecclesiasticus, I believe. Either Ecclesiasticus or Sirach, or Ecclesiasticus, I think that's the book of Sirach. Ecclesiasticus is the book of Sirach, and it's Wisdom of Solomon, Salaka. I always get the two mixed up. So Wisdom of Solomon 2, verse 1. For the ungodly said, reasoning within themselves, but not aright, our life is short and tedious, and in the death of a man there is no remedy. Neither was there any man known to have returned from the grave. Right, so that is how the elites of, that's how, the Christians are thinking as well. That's why they venerate the cross so much. They're not celebrating, and that's what Easter is all about. It's not about the celebration of the death or resurrection of our Lord Yahushai, but it's a pagan high holy day that was repurposed into, this is a celebration of the day that, they put up JC, which of course isn't even the true name of our Lord Yahushai, nor even the true appearance of him, right? They put that cracker, that Edomite up there. But that's what they are celebrating, that's what they are doing, right? But we, by keeping this Passover, we are remembering the history of our people, right? From Moses to Josiah, the king Josiah that kept his own Passover, right? To our Lord Yahushai with his own solemn Passover, and his death and resurrection and what it represents, because it was in that Passover that he said, this is my body, this is my blood, right? That was shed, that was broken, that was here it is, Matthew 26 verse 26. And as they were eating, Yahushua took bread and blessed it and break it and gave it to the disciples and said, take, eat, This is my body. And he took the cup and gave thanks and gave it to them, saying, Drink ye all of it, for this is my blood of the New Testament, which is shed for many for the remission of sins. Right. And that as well. That's why we keep the Passover as a high holy day, because we are remembering all these things that happened to our people, and also hoping for a new deliverance, a new Passover, as it is written in the book of Jeremiah, that it shall no longer be said. Let's get that real quick. And I think I'll close out with this, because that's the perfect place to close it out. Right. Let me look at our precepts. So this is the book of Jeremiah 23, and I'll start from verse 7. Therefore, behold, the days come, saith Yahweh, that they shall no more say, Yahweh liveth, which brought up the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt. But Yahweh liveth, which brought up and which led the seed of the house of Israel out of the north country. And of course, the north country is Babylon. And from all countries whither I had driven them, and they shall dwell in their own land. Right? Because not only will the Passover be kept, remembering our deliverance from actual Egypt, through Moses, but now the Passover will be kept, remembering our deliverance from Babylon through our Lord Yahweh. And that is what we are in this truth. We are patiently and eagerly waiting for, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Yahweh. That's right. Let me end this right here, okay? And let me see if I want to go into anything else. Let me see if I want to go into anything else, because I don't want to forget anything. Okay, right. So with that, once again, all praises, honor, and glory unto the Most High. Yahweh Basham Yahweh Basham Rachakwadash. Wa Abad Babal. And through the Spirit of you are calm and you are quiet for edified. Shalom.